After so many struggles and triumphs and moments that have tested my husband in ways I never could have imagined, I have seen firsthand that being president doesn't change who you are. No, it reveals.
Of course, First Lady Michelle Obama saying it doesn't change who you are, it reveals who you are. One of the real memorable lines from last night's speech at the Democratic National Convention. Now the distinctive voice of Gary Dietrich joins us via telephone. He's our Fox 40 political analyst who I'm sure was watching last night. Hi, Gary.
Oh, indeed. And, you know, you got to say this. That was well delivered last night. I just was comparing, Paul, you know, her delivery in past speeches to this. Using a prompter, as you well know, my friend, is not easy, and it was clear, and the comparisons clearly will be unfair to Ann Romney, who did it for the first time nationally, but Michelle Obama has got that wired.
Yeah, I agree with you. I said right at the beginning of the show, so I don't expect anybody watching now to have heard it. You know, I recognize we are a divided country. You know, 50-50. You're going to vote for Obama or you're not. All politics aside, that was as well delivered a speech at a convention as I have ever seen.
You know, I was really impressed. And towards the end, when she got particularly comfortable, it seemed almost impromptu. And that is, of course, always the mark of an absolutely outstanding speaker. It's what you're likely to see, of course, from Bill Clinton tonight, who's always been seen that way. It was Ronald Reagan's gift. I mean, people that can get that down and actually connect through a camera, that's an impressive asset to have at the president's side going into the fall.
Let me ask you this. Let's get to the politics of it. For whom does it matter that she did well? As I said, you know, we're very close to 50-50, and there's a narrow slice of the electorate that hadn't made up their mind or might switch. So talk about the message from last night, because, you know, none of this is by accident. Very strategic what they say.
Yeah, absolutely, Paul. Her audience was twofold, as it is for so many of these speakers last week and this week at the convention. It is that very narrow slice, Paul. Those people who have said they're undecided, which, by the way, only 5 or 10% in national polls say that, and particularly vital, those in the swing states. So her job to soften up the president's image, to make him not look like the bad guy that his opponents say. And, of course, the other thing, fire up the base. And probably that her most important job last night. We're in this together. You know, her rallying cry at the end, we've got to fight, fight, fight. I mean, I really think that's really her main audience was, let's rekindle the flame from 4 years ago.
You know, speaking of 4 years ago and a change in position and talking about trying to reach a specific audience, 4 years ago her president was of the opinion that marriage should be between a man and a woman, and we all know here in the last few months he announced that his position had evolved a couple of times. Last night Michelle Obama said, you know, it shouldn't matter who you love or who you are standing at the altar with. Again, these are very strategic choices. They got to think that's a winner for them electorally.
Well, and that's clearly the effort there, Paul. We know nationally, still, national polls say most people not in favor of same-sex marriage, but they're again an appeal to the base. And that is a distinctive policy change. That's important you pointed that out. One of the clear policy changes, not only in the Democratic Party national platform, but for the president himself going into the fall.
All right, we're going to chat with you tomorrow because tonight's featured speaker is a guy who's noted for giving a pretty good speech as well. Bill Clinton takes the stage this evening, and you know, you and I will both be talking about what good he did for the president and what good he may have done for his wife in a future election, don't you think?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, nobody can bring it like Bill Clinton. And what would a Democratic National Convention be without a Clinton at the podium?
Yeah, there we go. That's tonight. We'll all be watching. Gary Dietrich, thank you very much for your time. We always appreciate your insights. We'll catch you tomorrow. Fox 40 political analyst Gary Dietrich, again, joining us. Well, actually, we'll have him again today in the 8 o'clock hour. So stick around for more conversation with Gary. I'm glad we're having him back about 8:25.